Yo guys, welcome in today's video. In today's video we are going to have a look at the regular financial markets and at the Bitcoin price. We are going to have a look at some very interesting charts which you certainly don't want to miss on this beautiful Sunday. Guys, let's jump straight into it. This is the S&P 500 right here on the 4-hour time frame, but also integrated with the M2 money supply, so it's also taking inflation into consideration. And like I've said many times in the previous videos right here, I think we have seen a short-term top because we basically trace to the golden ratio, as you can see right here, the little bit above the 61.80%. We came to the 68.70% slightly before we got rejected, and we fell below this level. We fell with a gap down, so we did have a small bounce to fill that gap up. But right now it looks like we had somewhat of a uptrend, maybe even a head and shoulders formation right here, which we broke out to the downside. And it looks like that the regular financial markets, the S&P 500, wants to see a further correction. And we can see that also back in the fix. The fix is the volatility index for the S&P 500, which basically means that the higher this level goes, the more bearish it is for the S&P 500, and the lower this level goes, the more bullish it actually is. And what we can see right here is we have somewhat of a falling wedge formation with the relative strength index making higher lows, creating these divergences, right? And I would definitely argue that it somewhat would make sense for this to bounce in the next coming weeks ahead, which means that the S&P 500 will come down to finish this correction. And if we zoom out, let's go to the daily time frame. To where can we see that correction then? Well, I think we definitely got a nice acceleration right here, but at least we should come down to that white line right here. That is the uptrend. Maybe it's even better visible on the weekly time frame. So let me bring out the weekly, guys. So yeah, we actually touched, and that is something most people don't really talk about, but we've touched a very key resistance level, a level that has not been breached for 23 years if you take inflation into consideration, right? The last time we traded at these levels was in maybe December 2001, or maybe even, you can argue, July 2001, before we trading at these levels. And everyone thinks that the S&P 500 is making new all-time highs, and of course in US dollar terms we are doing that also. But if you would look at the purchasing power, we're not doing that. So right now we basically just touched that resistance again, where we got rejected from 3 times in the past. One time right here, another time right here. That was right before the March 2020 crash that we have seen in Bitcoin. And this one was the previous bear market, 2022, the 1-year bear market. So right now we touched this resistance again. This is definitely some heavy resistance, which means that I do expect at least a pullback to the white line right here. I hope we can break this resistance in the not so distant future, because breaking this resistance will definitely result in a lot of liquidity going back to the regular financial markets, a good economy, at least for so long it can hold, and also a lot of liquidity going to risk assets like Bitcoin. So this breaking out to the upside would definitely be very bullish for Bitcoin. However, shorter term time frame, it just looks like we went to that resistance, we got rejected. Right now we are bouncing, and we retraced to one of the Fibonacci levels, 78.60% basically, and right now fell below the 61.80%, which just shows us that, yeah, most likely this wants to come down, right? At least also this month, in the most bearish month in general. And we got the fix like setting up for a bounce, potential bounce right here as well, which confirms that scenario that we are looking at for a little bit more downside on the S&P 500. Then guys, let's have a look at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. And as you can see on the weekly time frame, this is actually looking quite bullish, right? We got a bullish engulfing candle, which we will close today. And I want to mention something about this, because even though this is looking bullish, this candle is looking bullish, and I'm expecting Bitcoin to bounce from here, to see higher levels, to go up to maybe $29,000 like I've been saying in the past videos as well. But I do expect that we will set a lower high. That is my expectation. Those can change whenever I see different signals in the chart. But I see a lot of people on Twitter talking about how bullish the weekly candle is. And I have to say, the weekly candle is bullish. But there is a big but. If we go back to 2019, right here, and we have this nice rally, we have this correction. At this specific moment, you would also say, if you didn't know the future of Bitcoin, the price, you would also say that this is very bullish. This is a bullish engulfing candle on the weekly time frame, right? So after a correction, we get a bullish engulfing candle. It should be extremely bullish, right? But it's not. It was not that bullish because we already had a break right here of that uptrend, because Bitcoin broke very important key moving average right here, and therefore you could say like, okay, we actually lost the uptrend. But even though we entered a potential downtrend right here, which we might even can see with something like this. When we entered that specific downtrend right here, it doesn't mean that the downtrend comes along without any bounces, right? So if we play this, you can see also that we had a nice bounce, and then eventually we actually had a retest of the highs, made a lower high, and then we came back down, also bounce again, breakdown, quite significant bounce, but really surpassed these lows again. Right here we will get a very nice bounce as well. That was the right bounce before the March 2020 crash. So I just want to show you with this example that yes, it is looking bullish on the weekly time frame. We get a bullish engulfing candle, but you gotta have somewhat of a strategy in place. You gotta have somewhat of a set of rules in place which will determine your market perspective, right? So if I would say like, yeah, no, I'm bullish on Bitcoin and everything that happens, I will remain bullish. If I don't have any time horizon, it's okay, right? Because we do expect Bitcoin to continue to see higher levels over the longer term time frames. So then it's still okay. But if you don't have that longer time horizon and you want to take advantages of the swings within these cycles as well for Bitcoin, it's very important to have at least some set of rules. If you don't want to lose 80% of your portfolio value during a bear market, you gotta have some rules in place that you gotta execute very disciplined in order to minimize your risk, minimize your losses, but also maximize your take profits, right? You gotta know your own weaknesses. Like taking profits is always my weakness because of my big conviction in Bitcoin. But I've learned over the past couple of years that a certain set of rules is going to be very, very important. And I've explained this already in previous videos as well. But yeah, like I said, when Bitcoin breaks a certain trend, for example, the 21 weekly EMA, if we bring out that level, let me bring that is the moving average. Let's go with the 21 weekly EMA. That is actually a very beautiful level, and this is 21. Then we can see that is the orange line right here, which also right now is acting as resistance. But if we have a look at the past of Bitcoin, and we can just say like, okay, every time we break below this level, have a couple of weekly closes below this level, you basically sell, right? That would be right here. And even though we get a bounce in the short-term time frame, you might see, you might think in the short-term time frame, hey, that decision that I made to sell some of my Bitcoin might be wrong, right? You will be tested. But eventually we go lower, 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 lower until we break back above it. Break back above it can be a confirmation. Okay, small time or small period bull market started. At least the bull trend is back, right? Okay, and you sell again when this is breaking down below. And then in short-term time frame, we even break back below this level, but you can see that the momentum is not that strong again until we break back above and hold this level as support and get multiple weeks closes above this level. Then right here we get a breakdown. This was a moment to sell. And right here we break back up again. Well, you would actually like break even if you would sell here and enter here. You might even have a profit. But you could also, because this bottom was actually very, very clear with a 60-day cycle low, funding rates. I remember this exactly. We longed this bottom in the previous bull market. You could also like re-enter the Bitcoin price right here, which would be quite a nice profit. That is a Bitcoin drop of 30%. Well, if you would, let's say you would half of your portfolio back in stables and you put that back in the bottom, you would increase your whole portfolio with 15%. Right, and these are just definite rules. And here you can also see the moment we break back below the 21 weekly EMA, you can even wait till we bounce and retest this level as resistance. If you would sell right here and just be like stoicistic in that, like, okay, I've sold, this is my set of rules. The moment we break back up, I'm going to buy. So maybe you would have bought right here, or maybe you would have waited for the retest, but then the moment we break back below, you would have sold. So you would get a very small loss on this move up. But generally, you would do very good, right? Because you would ride this whole wave down, and then you can either re-enter when we break back above, or you can re-enter at these lows, which we did right here on the channel. We entered at these exact specific lows because based on time, this was a 4-year cycle low, massive capitulation event, massive risk to reward ratio. Here I just basically went all in. I put all my money back into Bitcoin. And it was just a moment like, okay, if it drops to 10k, I'm basically screwed. But I'm willing to take that risk because it's just looking so good. And this is what I'm trying to say. If you don't have a set of rules, right? If you just like, no, I'm going to wait. Or for example, right here we break down. But yeah, maybe this time is different. I'm just going to wait and until we break back up. But then it just doesn't happen. And the portfolio goes down, it goes down, and it goes down. And then it's becoming more and more difficult to take profits because the price is continued to going down. And it's very hard to realize how low the price actually can go if you are middle in this bear market, right? None of us would expect that this would actually go to 15 to 16,000 US dollars. In these periods right here, the market psychology, no one would expect to see these levels ever again. Similar as right now, a lot of people can't really seem to accept that 100,000 Bitcoin comes. Right, or it looks like an event in the far distant future. So that is important to note as well. But what I've learned is that you gotta have a specific set of values or parameters that you are going to listen to disciplined whenever the market moves above or below that. And I think for me personally, the 21 weekly EMA is very important. And like I said in the past, I can be wrong. It's a game of probabilities. I'm thinking that this will do something like bouncing and eventually see lower levels. When I'm wrong, I'm very happy to re-enter my position, even if that is with a small loss, because that is risk management. And if I then can re-enter with a small loss and still get exposure to the gains, which I would have less risk to, because we are breaking back above these levels again, then I will definitely take that. So that is a little bit my strategy, my view on the markets, and yeah, guys, I hope you can appreciate that. Guys, that is what I'm watching with Bitcoin. Over the weekend today, not much is going to happen. Probably we are going to open where the CME close, because that is most often what happens this weekend. If you are interested, guys, in developing yourself further as a cryptocurrency trader, I've basically designed a cryptocurrency trading course, which is bringing you from the complete steps from a beginner, from the fundamentals of crypto, from the fundamentals of the economy, to the theoretics of trading, to eventually creating your own profitable cryptocurrency trading strategy. And I think this course helped so many people, hundreds and hundreds of traders, to become more profitable and even to switch their career into a more trading career or crypto career. And guys, if you are interested in that, you can find more information on the blockchaintoday.com. Very complete course. and definitely will bring a lot of value to the table if you are interested in that, and if you want to invest in yourself and want to invest in your own knowledge. I would highly recommend to check out this course. You can do so on the blockchaintoday.com. And guys, if you are interested in trading Bitcoin, make sure to join Bybit or BitGet with the affiliate link down below, because if you join with the affiliate link, you are able to join the Will Alerts program as well, which is a private Telegram channel. You can join for free by being an active trader, and where you will receive extra information on the cryptocurrency markets. Guys, I want to wish you all a beautiful day. I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you are new, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.